Hello, hello, my green skins. And tonight I'm with Citizen Kane of my other organizational thing that we can't talk about on YouTube because YouTube is weird. And Mr. Nightwheel and I have watched the first episode of Tomb Raider. So we're going to talk about the controversy last. We tried doing this without going all over the place with the controversy, and this sounded like two insane people arguing about which Tomb Raider came first and which franchise was a part of which company at which time.
Yeah,
So this went all over the place, and then we didn't technically talk about the fucking actual show.
we did, and then it
Our
immediately jumped back over to Steam DB.
Yeah, it jumped over to Steam BDB, and then we went on a Steam DB hunt, and then we were trying to explain Steam DB's numbers, and then I was trying to direct him to the site for another site. So we got okay. Let us begin once again in a new age. What's your first thought process of to the new Tomb Raider, and then we'll get to the visuals, music, and the acting.
It seemed
And
like
then,
a long cutscene from one of the games.
ooh, shit. Uh,
That's not a well. Depending on the game, it's either a compliment or a complaint.
well, for me, that's a complaint. On my end, I am fascinated how, to me, this was fascinating. I felt like I came out of this and went, but everybody else I was watching this with was like, no. So it was very fascinating. And
No,
I had a diverse crowd.
but I agree. The episode seems promising. It feels like it's Tomb Raider.
Well, we'll break it down now. So what did you think of the cartoon, the visuals of this?
The beginning of the episode was a bit lackluster compared to the later half of the episode.
Okay, so
So mixed
we're
production quality.
okay. So here's how I feel about it. It reminded me of the other stuff that this company has worked on,
Correct.
and I was not a fan of the other stuff this other company has worked on. Although I will admit, this company did do some cool stuff with Castlevania. It was not my favorite,
It
and that was kind of
seems
how I
to
felt.
be a more polished take on their style because I've only the stuff I've seen of theirs
Mm.
is the Masters of the Universe show. This seems way more
Honestly,
polished.
I would say it was less polished because like Castlevania was good looking.
Well, Castlevania, they're going to give it all the eye candy.
Yeah, but that was good looking. I mean, that had some sweet fucking art style and some beautiful visuals.
I still need to watch that.
Oh, don't bother. Unless you're a diehard, it's not worth it. And we're not going to get into that because I can go off on that one. I am not a fan.
We're not restarting this
So
recording part 3.
yeah, we're not doing a part three. So what did you think of the music in this one?
Again, it felt like Tomb Raider.
Mm, mediocre in my opinion.
Which the
Which
games
is
were the games weren't aren't exactly music heavy thing to begin with. The music is
no,
there. It's just kind.
they had beautiful music. They
Yes,
had some beautiful
it had
music.
that feel, but a lot of times at least in my limited experience with Tomb Raider, they more made you focus on the action instead of the music.
Well, I found the music in Tomb Raider kind of awesome, and sometimes not always, but sometimes. This was meh. This really did have that vibe of the modern Tomb Raiders, which I don't know how to feel about them because they're in the fact that this anime did, from what we found, did did spear these old video games a little bit on Steam. So that tells you something.
Yeah,
In the last 30 days, the games have rise by quite a significant amount. Now the acting. I'm not hating the acting.
No, I felt like that I was watching, even though I know canonically this is not in that Tomb Raider timeline. It felt
No.
like the interactions of Lara Croft and the gang when she's on the comms with and
Yeah.
whatnot from Legend. It felt
Okay,
it
he's
felt
stuck in Legend there. He's stuck in his favorite Tomb Raider.
I know,
I'm
but
gonna
I'm just
move us.
but I'm
I'm gonna move us. I'm gonna move us that it felt like the actual Tomb Raider.
yes,
We're not getting that argument again. We felt like the original Tomb Raider from the new Tomb Raider game that just had come out. Jonah in particular
yeah.
really did have that energy.
It felt like
And
it felt like Tomb Raider proper. That's yeah.
well, it felt like that Tomb Raider to you because he wants to play Legend. That's what I've learned. I have learned one thing. This guy wants to go and play fucking Legend, and
I've
he
tried
wasn't
to
able.
play the Tomb Raider 2018 and I couldn't get I couldn't.
I could, dude. I'm not gonna fucking lie. Do not. Okay, video game devs, do us a fucking solid. I'm gonna go back to the fucking thing very shortly. Stop button mashing bullshit. I do not want to buy a turbo controller to play your fucking game. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. This was that gang, and a lot of cutbacks and references to stuff. Now let's get to the story of the very first episode of Tomb Raider.
Hmm.
What did you think of this story?
It has lofty goals that it better achieve because right now I'm interested.
I unfortunately, due to me not having Netflix, maybe I'll have Netflix in the future. I might need some help with that there in very future. The horde needs to help me out with that maybe in the future. But right now, I have a choice of what I'm going to buy, what I'm going to pick up for streaming services, and Netflix is not one of them. If I pick up Netflix, I'm dropping Amazon Prime, and I actually like Amazon Prime, and I don't have to pay $30 for
You and
commercial free.
you and your fix for the Rings of Power.
Not even going to get started on that shit. I know I will. Uh, we will talk about that because that's going to be that's going to be a certain goal we're going to have in the future. So Tomb Raider, this story looks like it takes place right after the game of the new Square Enix franchise. Square Enix franchise is interesting. People love Tomb Raider Goro Edition. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you've accidentally went too far to the right and you watch her get impaled and her jaw ripped out. Um, People really loved Rise. Rise was like fuck. I picked up Rise. I loved Rise. Rise was awesome. And Shadow seemed like people did not like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This kind of has that vibe, in my opinion. This is following that story arc. That may not be a good thing. And so far, you're optimistic. You're going to keep watching it, correct?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go back to watching Samurai Cat. Um, Meow. I don't know. Like I said, I may watch more Tomb Raider. I might have to sit down and watch it with Night if I'm going to watch it. But I'm not going to watch it with. I don't think anyone else wants to watch it with me. So I don't know if I'm going to continue watching this. I am hopeful, but the
It's
marketing
it's
for this,
it's not the first
yeah,
time the IP has dealt with supernatural.
that's not what people are complaining about, though. That's the thing. I am hopeful, but whoever is allowing the people that talk about this franchise to talk about it in the way they're talking about it, tell them to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, I'm a bit
Because
out of the loop of the complaints. What are the complaints out there?
okay, the complaints are this. This isn't our Tomb Raider. This isn't Angelina Jolie. This isn't my femme fatale. But again, what did you think people are going to do when you have people talk about this is a new age for Tomb Raider? We have defeminized her. We have made her more human and blah 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 blah. When you talk this shit about the franchise, I mean, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem because people are so sick and tired of this. Like, I'm sick and tired of it. You know what I'm doing right now? Do you think I'm watching new stuff 90% of the time? Like, the only reason this caught my eye is because it's Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm going to keep watching Vox Machina because, well, I watched it one day. Every once in a while, I'll click on something because I'm like, hey, you know what? What the fuck? Let's watch something. That's my mentality. I don't care 90% of the time. Like, I've been watching Batman the animated franchise, the animated series because, hey, what the fuck? I'm looking at doing either. I'm thinking of doing the original Crow right now for our review for the review channel. So I'm going to be probably watching that this week. I'm thinking of doing Ghostbusters at long last. I don't think I've done the original Ghostbusters yet as a review. You know, these are things I'm interested in.
It's the classic comfort franchises, and this
Yeah,
is in a franchise that has a weird storied history, and it's very polarizing.
like, okay, here's the problem with it. Angelina Jolie and like that type of franchise and that group and what existed is a part of the original Tomb Raider lore. People like that. So when you not only do you not do the original Tomb Raider, which everyone wants to see that badass woman kick ass and take names. That's what they want to see from Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Those who believe that people want to watch wank material do not know hentai exists. We do not care about Lara Croft,
You
despite
care
what Pornhub.
you care. Well, a lot of them care about what's on the left and right side of her chest.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I
No.
never will. I think you should keep true to a character. If she has big knockers, give her big knockers. You know,
No, no,
make
no,
her
no, no,
attractive.
no, no. Give her big
I,
dual
I,
loaded anvils.
I'm okay. I'm okay with giving the president's daughter ballistics, and I don't care what anybody says about that. Fight me, bitch. And that's the way I feel. And simply put, I'm a grown adult man. I want to see grown adult women. That's it. I do not want to see people. But when you got people screaming that, you know what's funny? Before this series even came out, there was one side crapping on it and one side not. The thing is, do you really want to die on this hill? Like both sides, really? Like to me, from what I can see, this looks like it's going to be mediocre at best. I don't think it's going to be good. I think it's going to have moments of awesome, but I don't think it's going to be awesome.
But I don't think it's going to be a complete insult to the franchise either.
No, I don't. I don't really care. I think there's going to be a lot of crying. I think they're going to make her more PTSD, which I don't agree with. I think we don't want our female. I don't think we want any of our characters, male or female, to have like, oh, we're in pain. We hurt. No one wants that. No one likes that. That's not stuff we like. That's not part of a franchise we enjoy. So, you know, that's a problem, but I don't give a shit one way or another. Like I want my badass Tomb Raider. It looks like we're getting the Tomb Raider from the Tomb Raider before Rise. And if that's the case, I don't think this is gonna most people are going to take to this because they have tried making movies to this franchise. It did not work. I know. I watched it. It kind of sucked. Wasn't good, wasn't awful, but it kind of sucked. I was like, it's mediocre at best. And that's what we're seeing right now. When I looked up Rotten Tomatoes, we're seeing a shitty. We're seeing it meh. But I think people are just so sick and tired of this shit. They should have given us a badass Tomb Raider. Proof on that one. Like give us
Yeah.
the badass Tomb. But I don't know. What do you think out there? Do you think this Tomb Raider franchise, this Tomb Raider series is going to work, or do you think this Tomb Raider series is going to die? I honestly don't think it's going to get that far. I honestly think people are already clipping it as like dead weight, which is bad.
I think since the title implies it's the Legend of Tomb Raider: Legend of Lara Croft, it implies like
More than one movie, more than one franchise.
well not that. I mean that's an interesting theory. This is kind of almost Origin-esque, so if we get another season, it might be.
I don't know. I to me I don't think we are. Like from what I'm hearing, people are crapping on this so bad. I'm I'm honestly of the opinion that this is not going to last right now. Which it seems sad to me because I honestly think this would be a middling show. I don't think the show's going to be great. Like I think it's going to be Like the animation didn't absolutely wow me. Even that car chase and bike scene, although looked good, didn't really wow me. Um, this idea of
Apparently it's been a critical success for Netflix, but
right now,
it's not guaranteed a season 2 yet.
yeah, okay, it's critical success for Netflix, but what does that say to Netflix or something when Rings of Power season 2 came out? Or Wheel of Time season 2 came out? Or the fact that
Wheel of Time had less polarizing opinions going to season 2 than Rings of Power did.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, compared to Rings of Power, people were at least giving Wheel of Time more chances.
Oh, I can't really talk about that because we're talking about Tomb Raider right now, and I don't want to go off on a tangent. But dude, holy shit, the fans are pissed. That's all I'm gonna fucking say about Wheel of Time. The fans are pissed.
I know they are
Like
now, but they're more hopeful about season 2 than people were about
no, my friend. No.
Anyways,
The fans stopped watching unsubscribed to Amazon after that. That's how bad. There's a lot there. There was a fucking exodus. Anyways, this is. I don't. This doesn't surprise me. If this show, I don't see this getting a second season. Maybe it will. They have a huge anime lineup, and Amazon Prime has a huge lineup coming out. Like October 24th is Yakuza. We're gonna see some interesting works.
December is going to be Secret Levels, that show, that Secret Level show.
Is that ending up on Amazon? Are they doing a live action for that?
No, it's CG.
Okay.
It's CG. It's done by Amazon. It's done by the people that made Love, Sex, and Robots.
Yeah, and then they're talking about we're hearing rumors that To Be Hero is going to be next on the list, which is a Chinese anime that's coming out.
And then Amazon is still working on the God of War live action.
Yeah. Oh God, no! I hope not. Please let that die. You know what? I'm begging that dies because you can't. That's impossible to do.
It's going to be based on the Norse setup.
Yeah, which is even worse idea. That is awful. That's like Paramount. That's like Hulu and Paramount working on the fucking goddamn Doom video game, Doom movie or TV show. They got lucky with Twisted Metal. They got lucky with Twisted Metal, but
Twisted Metal was the cock.
yeah,
Peacock.
yeah, Twisted Metal, yeah. But still, it was still freaking amazing, and it was on Paramount. Twisted Metal
Why was on
got
Paramount? It was
lucky.
an NBC property.
I don't know. It was on Paramount. That's all I know.
Maybe rights issues between U.S. and Canada.
Maybe. So Twisted Metal was a freaking surprise, a sleeper hit. Left 4 Dead was surprise sleeper hit a little bit. Like HBO really kind of surprised people with that.
Oh, the Last of Us.
Yeah. That Last of Us. That was a sleeper hit. I've heard rumors of a live action Dead Rising. I don't know if that's coming out, but I heard about that. That could be an interesting idea for a TV show. I know the video games, the live action movies sucked monkey tits, but it was. Oh, we're talking giant monster tits, but like Lara Croft originally used to have. But this is the thing. We are seeing video games be. I don't know how deep this is going to get ran into the ground. Like we still haven't heard anything about the Henry Cavill freaking Warhammer series coming out.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to have information by now. So I'm hopeful for what's coming out. And that is our thoughts on the first episode of Tomb Raider. I know we kind of went all over the place, but this is basically. I'm gonna put this out as first episode of Tomb Raider and what we're expecting and what's coming out. And for those, I will be putting something up very shortly. It's also going to be coming up as a little screen thing we're going to talk about. And yeah, so it looks like we're going to get some interesting stuff coming up for us video games fans. Let's just hope they're not as bad as Wheel of Time. I'd like to thank everybody for listening, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Orc War Chief Reviews. And yes, there was a Wheel of Time video game.